Hello, beautiful people on the other side of the screen. You are now tuned into Audiotree Live. Today is Monday, November 20th, and I am your host, Psalm 1. I want to welcome all the newbies to the channel, but if you watch more than one Audiotree Live session and you're not subscribed, that's okay. We still love you, but you should let a little more love into your life and do that by subscribing now. And while you're at it, follow Audiotree on Spotify, Bandcamp, or wherever you bang your music. Today, we have indie music fixture Wild Nothing in studio, straight out of Richmond, Virginia. This band is the brainchild of genre-twisting Jack Tatum, who embraces the re-examination of creativity to masterful results. I'm super excited to host them today because it's always a good day to drown in dream poppy, new wavy, lyrically hefty bliss. Ladies, ladies, and gentlemen, please welcome Wild Nothing.
Over the moon, just trying to hold on to you. I leave my headlights on, I only feel like myself at night. Don't always treat you right, but I don't know how to be subtle with all the things I hate about myself. don't need to know everything you've been up to. I just need to hear you tell me I want you. 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 Tell me I want I'd like to think there's some reason for all this suffering. I'd like to believe in a life with a Disney ending, and that one day I'll shake the big hand up the painting the celluloid. Pity of vacant apartments for the broken and unemployed. There's a shimmering Atlantis by the Isle Red. There's a panoramic heaven on the studio line. Every second that I waste, now the second I can wait till I make it there. Must be some kind of love, must be some kind of love that'll take me there. So I take it a stride, 'cause I know this world is just on loan. So I politely start queuing up to meet my chaperone. There's a basement El Dorado in a pawn shop. There's a Shangri-La at the bottom of a landfill. Every second that I waste, now the second I can wait till I make it there. Must be some kind of love, must be some kind of love that'll take me there. Won't you take me there? Take me there. Take me there. Take me there.
We're here with Christoph, Jack, Lou, Jeff, and Victor playing together as Wild Nothing. How y'all feeling today? How's it going?
Feeling good. Thank you
Yeah?
for having us.
Absolutely. Y'all just played my jam, Basement El Dorado, so you can stay. It's fine.
Thank you.
You're sounding great, though. A quick lyric question,
Sure.
right? There's so much going on with that lyric. I'd like to think there's a reason for all this suffering that's poignant to me.
Yeah.
Me too. Do you have any guesses?
I don't.
Oh, no?
My
Okay.
guess is as good as yours.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this song in particular is definitely a song that, I don't know, it's very tongue in cheek, you know, it's meant to be critical, but also meant to be, I don't know, I feel like when you're talking about things as big as spirituality or religion or whatever it might be, it's like I always try and approach it from a place of not necessarily being judgmental, but like still being critical of the things about that I don't agree with or that I don't think is like serving us or something, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with any sort of like religion or religious?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I went to church briefly when I was very young, but it was sort of like immediately became clear that it wasn't right for our family. I think my
Sure.
parents did it out of some sort of like family obligation of their own, like based upon their own upbringing. But yeah, no. So I didn't grow up religious. It's never been a part of my life. Yeah.
As a terrible Christian myself, I hear God all through the music, but maybe
Yeah.
that's just the divine inspiration. Maybe
Well,
that's just something
yeah, I
question
mean,
we all have.
I feel like I spend a lot of time thinking about sort of, I don't know, the reason for being here, but I feel like it's, yeah, my spirituality is much more amorphous and like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like I was thinking about it a lot on this record in particular. I think just as I've gotten older and too, after becoming a father, it's like you think about life differently. You think about death differently. And it's like these sort of like big topics can get really overbearing very quickly. So I always try and like approach it with a little bit of levity. But I think I couldn't help but like be thinking about some of these things as I was writing songs. But yeah, there's an Australian band that I really love called the Waterboys. They're like an 80s band. But their whole thing, there was like a term that got coined sort of based upon their music that was called the big music, which is like very much like spiritual music that is not necessarily religious in nature, but is like, it's like searching music,
Sure.
you know what I mean? And I feel like I related to that on some level.
That is a great answer. I mean, we're all kind of searching, you
Yeah.
know. I think some people pretend that they know the answers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm of the ilk of people who, as the more I learn, the more I know I don't know anything.
Yeah.
You know, so just kind
Yeah.
of continue the search. And through
Yeah.
music, I think that helps.
Yeah.
Speaking of the 80s, because we're so far removed from the 80s, and there are younger folks who never experienced like the dust settling from bands like Pet Shop Boys or Janet Jackson, like dropping and like changing things.
Yeah.
How can you describe your affinity for it?
I mean, I've thought a lot about it
Mm-hmm.
as someone who's spent like the last decade, like mining 80s music for my own material. I don't know. I mean, I think sort of what I've finally settled on, or like why I keep revisiting so many bands from that era, is that I feel like it was a time, both sort of like in the underground, but also in pop music, when there was much more sort of room for experimentation. And I think, a reason why I always cite people like Kate Bush or Peter Gabriel is because these were like massive artists, but they were doing some pretty weird stuff and like kind of getting away with it and like really pushing songwriting and production in really interesting ways that obviously still happens, but I don't know, I've kind of like, I can't find anything necessarily that scratches that itch more for me.
You know what's really interesting to me about the 80s is the tech. My late Uncle Marlon, rest in peace, Uncle Marlon, he bought a synthesizer around 1988. And it was like this big musical moment in like his life and as his little niece, my life as well. Just the technology around producing these sounds with a keyboard. And I think that, with the Moog and with just regular synthesizers in the 80s, it was like, wow, I can get all these sounds from the keyboard and I can be the whole band by myself. Yeah. And I think that led to so much more experimentation during that time.
Yeah, there was like a real explosion of music technology, and also just like, the ability to like begin doing like digital tracking and stuff. It's like, I don't know, it just opened up a lot of doors, so people were getting weird with it.
As far as right now, like what piece of gear kind of like floats your boat?
Oh, I don't know. I've never really been a guitar person. Like, I feel like guitar is just a tool for me.
As you hold the guitar,
I know,
play it
here
very
I am.
well.
It's what I play in the band, but I do a lot in the studio, and so it's like guitar to me is just like one of the things. So it's just another tool. There I can grab anything and kind of like get something started. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I the most recent thing that I got is there's like a British synth company, a new synth company called UDO, and they made a synth called the Super 6. It's really cool. So I've been using that. That's on this record a little bit.
Okay, I was going to ask. Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's hear some more jams.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for plugging that that piece of gear. I might look into it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I got to switch guitars here real quick.
Stepping
just
you.
heard Pulling Down the Moon Before You, a sweet ditty by none other than Wild Nothing. This last song you just played, Pulling Down the Moon Before You, is a great closer to the album. And it's also a great loop into listening to the album again from the beginning. How intentional was that sequencing?
I mean, I always spend probably more time than I would care to admit trying to figure out the sequencing for a record. It's hard. I mean, like, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I feel like I always listen to my records years later and then, like, wonder, oh, should I have switched that here? But, you know, it's like...
The great conundrum.
Who cares?
Yeah, for sure. This album flows very well.
Thank
and
you.
I was just kind of listening to it and walking around the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of how I consume things.
Yeah.
And when it went from the last song back into the first song, I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds
Harmonious
so
loop.
intentional. It's so great, so great.
Cool.
So this song, this question is for Lou. We talked about this before, but tu parles français?
Oui.
Je parle un petit peu français.
Oh, magnifique.
Yeah, petit peu. But you know, that's all I got for you. Where's everyone from? Can I go around the room and ask where everyone's from? Lou, let's start with you. Where are you from originally?
I am from Paris, France.
Yeah, okay.
I grew up in Danville, Virginia.
Okay.
I'm from Chester, New Jersey.
East Coast.
Los Angeles.
And yeah, I grew up in Williamsburg, Virginia. I currently live in Richmond.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've recorded kind of all over the world, correct?
I have, yeah. I've been pretty lucky to have some cool recording experiences. And yeah, you know, like I grew up in Virginia, went to school in Virginia, moved around quite a lot. I've lived in Georgia, New York, LA. Yeah, and then I guess a little under 5 years ago, I moved back to Virginia with my wife, and yeah, just kind of like decided to slow down a bit. But I love being back. Virginia is like, I don't know, growing up there, there's just a lot of things about it that never left me, and I never really felt super comfortable anywhere else, weirdly. So it's nice to be back.
Home is home.
Yeah, it's true.
Certain things that will inspire you that may not be like, you know, too exciting to someone else. But,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, it's just those feelings, those sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most underrated place to go visit in Richmond, Virginia?
Oh, I mean, if you've never been there, then you definitely just have to go walk around the Fan, which is just, yeah, a neighborhood where it's like a bunch of like really colorful row houses that most of them are kind of like 1910s, 1920s or something. Would you say, Jeff?
Some older.
Yeah, some are older.
Some are older.
But yeah, it's beautiful. It's got some real Southern charm for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Besides great musicianship, what do you look for in a bandmate?
You know, how well they take orders, like how little are they willing to be paid? No. Just like, I don't know. We just have to like get along on just like a basic level. And I mean, you know, obviously it's like I play with Jeff for like since the very beginning, and you know, I've known Lou and Christoph for a couple years now. Victor is the newest member of the band. But you know, it's like my friend Jack Smith, who plays bass in a band called Beach Fossils, he introduced me to Victor. And yeah, so I don't know. I feel like there always has to be some sort of like at least one degree of connection with like people that I know. So, but yeah.
You have an extensive catalog.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself an OG in this?
Kind of. I've been at it a while, you know. My first record came out in 2010.
Yeah.
I'm feeling old as we sit here talking about it.
You still look young and spry.
Thank
just,
you.
you know,
Thanks
just
a
so
lot.
you know.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
So how's tour been? I know you're finishing up a tour with Audiotree, Alam, Zahara. So how's that been?
Oh, it's been great. Yeah, it's not that long of a tour really. It's only like 2 weeks. But yeah, it was good. We did, you know, a handful of shows on the East Coast, then flew out to California. Did like 4 shows in California, and now we're here. Just flew to Chicago specifically for this show tonight that we're playing. So, yeah.
We're glad that you took time out of your schedule to come kick it with us.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Any awesome memories or surprising cities for this short tour? Anyone can answer, but any places that surprised you? Or
I mean, I always forget how fun Santa Ana is in Orange County. The crowd there is always great. And
Yeah, we have really enthusiastic fans in Southern California, so that's really fun. I don't know. Yeah, all the shows have been pretty good. You know, like one that was kind of memorable for me is that we played a show in Norfolk, Virginia. There's a venue there called the Norva, and so when I was growing up, that's like where I would always go see shows. So that was kind of like a weird full circle moment for me, just on a personal level.
Homecoming sort of thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, it's been a fun one.
Tell me about a song on this new album that kind of blew your mind when you started peeling back the layers of performing it live. Because, you know, it's always that sort of hump, and then you...
I mean, I think one thing that's been really cool is just getting, like, more voices in the mix. I feel like this is, like, the first tour that we've done where we have, like, multiple singers, like, you know, Lou, Christoph, Jeff, all singing a little bit here and there. And I feel like that's made a handful of the new songs, like, come alive in a cool way. And I don't know, there's been certain challenges, like a song like Headlights On is a really dense song, and there's a lot going on, so it's like there's always challenges and sort of like figuring out how to translate something like that.
As far as love songs go, right? Who writes the best English love songs? Like, for me, if I just thought right off the top of my head, I loved Amy Winehouse's writing. And I love Tyler, the Creator's toxic-ass writing as well. But, who do you like to give you those feelings?
I mean, it's kind of fresh on the mind for me, I guess, just because I've been listening to it a lot lately. But I've been listening to a ton of Joni Mitchell, and there's this song called Lucky Girl that's the last song on an album, Dog Eat Dog, which is like one of her 80s albums that doesn't necessarily have the best reputation, but I think it's absolutely amazing. And it's just such like a, I don't know. Yeah, she's got such a great bittersweet way of talking about relationships, where like within the same breath she can just like say a lot about like something that's very affectionate, but also just like kind of poisoned in the
Dagger.
same breath. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else have any thoughts about English to love songs? That's fine.
Burt Bacharach, Hal David.
Okay,
to
cool.
me is
Classic.
number one.
Great answer. So we have the holidays coming up.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any plans, for the end of the year? Do you think you'll be composing any music, or is it straight like lockdown?
You're
No, I
talking
think
about
so.
that
Family.
Christmas album that you're going to get out.
Oh yes.
No. Yeah, for sure. This will be kind of like the first time in a while where I haven't, like, once we get back from this tour, there's so much prep, getting ready for the tour, and then I had the album coming out, so there was just like, it was kind of like a mad dash of all this stuff kind of happening at once. So yeah, I'm excited that once I get home, I can just like maybe get back to working on some music a little bit, which it feels like I haven't really done that for a while. So I'm excited about that.
So I'm really looking forward to your last song.
Yes.
So let's get into that whenever you're ready.
Cool. Yeah, we're busting out an oldie just for fun.
Yes, classics.
Is your hate so
A very big thank you to Wild Nothing for blessing us today. And as always, major love to everyone here at Audiotree spreading the gospel of live music. Wild Nothing is finishing up a coast-to-coast tour, but don't fret, my pet. They will be on the road again in the future, so make sure to grab tickets to see them when they're in your area. Also, the amazing new album, Hold, just dropped, so please get into that because you love great music. Once again, likes are good, but subscribing to Audiotree means you get these dope videos at the top of your feed when they drop. Get cool merch at audiotree.shop. And if you want the session audio, get it on apps like Tidal or wherever you bang your music. Finally, follow Audiotree on social media for more fun content. I'm Psalm 1, and I'm here for good music and good conversation. Till next time, stay dangerous. Peace.